The book of Proverbs, verse 20. Without wood, a fire goes out. Without a gossip, a quarrel dies down. Is Christian Righteous Gamer. Okay, so I guess I'll make a little video. I'll talk about this the Star Wars Outlaws. So there has been a little bit of some controversy about this. I'll talk about the game and some of my thoughts about it. I think so supposedly it's supposed to come out, I think at the I think I looked it up. I think it says like August 30th. So like kind of like towards the end of summer. So although I'm not sure exactly when the release date's technically supposed to be. But I mean either way it doesn't matter. I'll give some of my thoughts about it. Here, let's just take a look at the trailer. Okay, so fair use is a thing.
Each of you represents some of the most powerful criminal organizations in the galaxy. Pikes, Crimson Dawn, Huts. It's a golden age for the underworld. The Empire controls every corner of the galaxy, but they're distracted by a rebellion that won't quit. It's an opportunity to make millions.
Kay Vess, the underworld's favorite new scoundrel. We meet at last.
What do you want?
Zarek Besh. They're new, rich, and lethal. You crossed their boss Slero, and now he wants you gone. Rob his fortune, buy your freedom.
This job, it's a death wish. I'm in. Out here, you live and die by your reputation. You want to survive? Know the players.
You're new to this world.
What's your problem?
Come back when you're not.
Jabba, right? Look, don't try anything. I got a whole crew surrounding the... Okay, we're skipping that part.
For about as long as I can remember, it's just been me and Nix. Doing what we have to survive. This job is my one shot at freedom. But if we're gonna pull this off, we need the right crew. And the right ship.
You were one of the best hunters in the Outer Rim.
She's more connected than you let on, Slero. Bess is mixed up in something bigger.
The Outer Rim is a dangerous place. Everyone is fighting for their piece of the galaxy. But all I want is to live free. So I'm gonna risk it all. Hold on, Nick!
Star Wars Outlaws, pre-order available now.
So, I'll give some of my thoughts. I know there's been some controversy about it. To be honest, that trailer, this game, to be honest, I know that some people are very negative because they gotta okay, let me try to say that again. They got to try to drum up some drama on this issue and on this controversy. So they gotta talk about some negative stuff. But honestly, that trailer and this game looks really interesting to me. It looks like a very fun, kind of like a unique, fun little game. I wouldn't say this is like some super AAA game or something. It's like a double A game. I genuinely think that I'm kind of interested in this game, right? I like the other thing. I still like Star Wars. And Star Wars is, it's been like infected by like basically like the devil by Disney, but I've always liked Star Wars ever since I was a child and teenager going forward. So and as being a Christian, George Lucas, he considers himself to be a man of the faith. Now he's also, he calls himself like a Christian, like Buddhist or something. But And there is a lot of Christian themes in Star Wars, but Star Wars it's also it's a fantasy world. It's a science fiction fantasy world. It's pretty neutral, and it has some nonsense in it, and it has a lot of realistic biblical themes. I wouldn't say that it's like the #1 series I would recommend as a person of the faith, but I mean, it's definitely really cool, and it's highly interesting, and there's a lot to learn from it. It's also Star Wars is a pretty neutral series too, and I mean, there is stuff you got to be careful with, but it's a pretty neutral series, I would argue. And this video game, I mean, I'm kind of interested in it, but it kind of feels like a AA game. Like it feels like it doesn't have. It looks like it's probably a fun video game to play, and honestly, to be honest, it's more of a fun like movie to watch. And they made the Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and they also made I think it's called Fallen Order. I mean, I really like both of those games. I mean, I beat the first one. I think I beat the first one twice. I played the second one for a little while. I watched the video on it. I mean, I do really like the new Star Wars games. And like the Mandalorian was pretty good too. I mean, until they basically because again, like it's not the Mandalorian's fault that Disney is like the devil. That's Disney's fault. And I don't blame the show for a garbage company. It's like the same thing with Fallout's been out, right? I don't blame Fallout for Todd Howard's a massive liar. Bethesda's gone highly woke, and like Xbox is basically almost serving the devil at this point. But I don't blame the company. Like I don't blame the IP for having a terrible handler. It's like I don't blame this game for having a terrible handler, right? And I think Ubisoft is the one making it. Ubisoft is kind of an awful company, but I don't blame the IP. What's up, keys? Hold up. Having garbage people who own it, right? It's not its fault, right? I mean, Star Wars. I still love Star Wars in a lot of ways. I mean, the truth about Star Wars is that it came to an end, right? They had the original 3 movies, plus they had the prequels, which kind of was like the ending of the franchise. And then they explored a little bit some of the stuff in the past, and they tried a new trilogy. And the new trilogy kind of flopped and was garbage. They gave me a level of hope, and it just kind of just died. And they basically ended the franchise. And I feel like it's okay to end a franchise. Now, they've kind of tried to go off in a bunch of different areas. So this one's kind of like set in more of like they call it like the definition of like moral grayness, where you're not really like a hero, but you're also not really a villain. I think you're more like it's called like an anti-hero. And like being an anti-hero is, I mean, it's a really cool idea, right? But I mean, I haven't played the tabletop game in a long time, but it's been probably at least 4 maybe years now, 5 years. I played in a couple different groups in the past. We meet up in real life. It's called I think that's what's called like a tabletop RPG. With I think the 3 different core books. So what are they called? They're The Edge of the Empire. I think it's Age of Rebellion, and then some kind of like a Jedi Force and Destiny, maybe, or some kind of a Jedi book, right? And to be honest, I really like that tabletop RPG game. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I used to play it a handful of times. I really liked it, and yeah, it's really good. Now, I'm also playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now. I'm not. I mean, to be honest, I think I'm just gonna take my time on it. When I release it, I'll release it. I mean, we'll see what happens, right? But it really I really like the fact that it's really true to the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition core book. It's not just a regular RPG game. It's really like 5th edition. Playing 5th edition is a video game. I really appreciate that, right? It's really good in that sense. So yeah, this Outlaws. Honestly, it looks fun. It looks like a fun game. It looks like a kind of like a. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of almost offensive to say that word. Like it's like a cute little game, right? It looks like a cute little game, right? It's not like, I wouldn't say this is something that I'm like super pumped in to play. it feels like it lacks a level of charisma. I mean, that's probably why I feel like it's more like a AA game. I mean, I would not pay $70 for this game. I feel like, I mean, this game is like a lot of the other games out there. This game is probably like $40. And maybe if you get it on sale. I mean, if you buy this on sale for like, $15, $20 or something after a couple months after it comes out, I feel like that's fine. It looks like a solid game. I mean, they get some of the bugs fleshed out. It comes out. It gets through some of its controversies or whatever. I think the game will be fine. I might be interested in playing it. I'm not sure because I don't know if this is really. I personally like. So like obviously the name of my channel. I mean, it's generally called RPG Guy, right? Like I play lots of RPG style games, but I mean, I don't think there's not really any kind of moral choices as far as I know. I think this is just like a very linear, third-person perspective, kind of a story-based Star Wars game with lots of action and adventure and combat. Personally, I mean, I have no problems with that. But I mean, it just kind of feels like it's like another one of those cookie cutter, generic, created, released video games. To be honest, I mean, I feel like it's like it doesn't have a tremendous like a punch to it in a sense. It's not like it doesn't have this massive charisma that I'm super like psyched about. Like I'm not like what do you call it? Like I don't have this massive like adrenaline rush running through my veins. I'm not so hyped and psyched for it to the point where like I feel like I feel like giddy or something, right? Because there has been video games that have come out where I've seen their trailer or I've been really interested in the game and it's just like, I mean, I don't even, like you have butterflies in your stomach. It's like when you were a teenager or something, right? When the first time, I mean, like, obviously I'm a biological man, but like, like the first time you see like a gorgeous woman or you have a conversation with her or something, like a first crush or something, or you have butterflies in your stomach because you're going to go out on some, theme park or something, or you have a test you're coming up and you have these like butterflies in your stomach and you're just, it's like you have this like teenager rush, like this giddiness, right? I don't feel that really with this game, but I do feel like it's kind of it's like a cute a cute AA game that could be fun to play. I think if you paid $40 for it, maybe you wait for a sale, and maybe let some of the reviews come out. It doesn't come out, I think, until, again, August 30th. Now, that could be subject to change. But, the main character, people complain about the main character. Yeah, I mean, I would argue. But, again, she does kind of have this, I'm not sure I can get a really good picture here of what her face actually looks like. Let's see here if I don't know if my phone will flip on me or not. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. She kind of resembles, like, I mean, like, in a non-offensive way, right? She kind of resembles a character from like maybe like 20, 30 years ago. Not like the woman you would see in like modern day times. I do feel like she does have a very deep like masculine kind of appearance in a lot of ways. I understand, like, she's not ugly, right? I mean, she's not, I don't think she was explicitly made to be ugly, and she's not the most gorgeous looking female either. But it's not like when I play a Star Wars game, like, the main character has to be, like, absolutely, like, dead drop, gorgeous looking either, right? But she doesn't really resemble, like, a deep, like, feminine character. She wears a very masculine sort of like outfit. She doesn't really, again, she's just a very generic kind of like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 female, and like the game kind of feels like a 7 out of 10. So yeah, it's kind of what some of my thoughts about this is. Again, they could have made to be honest, this game doesn't come out for a long time. They could still change it, right? They could make the main female character a lot more feminine, maybe make her look a little bit more attractive, and add some more femininity to her, right? And make her look a little bit more pretty and a little bit more beautiful. And I mean, honestly, that would probably kill a lot of the controversy on it. You know, like, I mean, she just, and she kind of, I mean, like, no, in the least non-offensive way, because she's not ugly, right? She just kind of resembles a little bit like she almost has like a lot of masculinity to her, and it's like, I mean, again, you know, women are women and men are men, right? We don't have to be the same. No, and not every character has to be identical to every other character. I mean, you know, if you give some more feminine qualities, maybe you put on some, like, have her put some makeup on, have her more beautiful looking hair, maybe show a little bit some more skin on her, like her belly or something, or you can change her like outfit a little bit, make her a little bit more like, you know, make her body look a little bit more feminine. You know, she got a little bit some more curves or something. Yeah, change her outfit a little bit, or do something. She can still have a level of modesty, right? But you can be good looking but have a level of modesty. So, like, what would be another character? There's now, granted, the actress is, well, she's older. I'm pretty sure she's older than me. You're like, what do you got? So obviously, I think in the movie when they made her, she was like, it's kind of sketchy, right? It's kind of gray. I think she was like 17 or something, or 16. But I mean, obviously, she's like 45 or something now. So I mean, you know, I mean, in a non-like, I mean, I don't know. Granted, when this movie came out, I was like 12 years old or something, and she was like 17 or 8. I don't even know, honestly. Like, Luke Skywalker was like 16 years old when he was in that movie. But he's like, what? He's like, he's old, basically, and he looks like he's old. But I mean, again, in like the least non-offensive way. I mean, you look at like a character like Padme, right? Yeah, she's a woman in Star Wars. Now, you know, you see how, like, you know, again, like, she looks attractive, right? And she looks like a female, and she's also very unique. And you know, I think this is an aspect of Star Wars that either they're missing or they didn't realize what made them great. Was Star Wars had very unique characters, and the stories were very unique, and they had a very unique world that wasn't the same as every other world out there. You know, and Padme looks like an attractive looking woman. And again, like, you know, when she got married to that what's his name? I can't even. Anakin Skywalker, who became Darth Vader. Again, like, look some of these outfits and some of these aspects about her. That's super unique, right? And she looks very feminine. And you don't have to. You know, the character doesn't have to look like a whore either, right? She doesn't have to look like she's just gonna, you know, sleep with every single person out there. But she can be, the character can be attractive at the same time, right? Let's see here, what stuff is there? Star Wars. And you know, characters can be special, and they can still look good at the same time too, right? And you know, not every character has to be here, let's just type in some female. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna get. Hopefully they're wearing clothes or whatever. I think I have safe search on, but I, for the life of me, cannot remember her name, but she's in the Knights of the Old Republic game. Again, she again, like, even her, like, she the character in the middle, she looks good, right? I mean, you got like good looking characters. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, right? You know, you can make a character look unique and still be attractive looking, and you can focus on giving her a good character story. Like, even this picture, again, like, you know, character doesn't have to be like, you know, like a whore, right? But again, like, she looked in this picture right here, it's a fan art, right? But a lot of fan art can make better looking pictures than a lot of the people out there. Again, like, she looks like a woman in this picture, at least. And yeah, I mean, you know, she's a little more athletic or something, right? Or you got like some of these characters. You don't have, the character doesn't have to look ugly, right? I mean, and there's nothing. I mean, and one major strength that women have is that women are, you know, in ways that women are beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the way like in holiness, that's the way God created woman. God created woman. That one strength that women have over men is that women are beautiful, and there's no shame to that. And I do feel like that is a major problem that is wrong with, and that's something that's wrong with the way that they want to do stuff for these characters. They don't want her to be a beautiful character, and that's a lot of the controversy, right? But to tell you the truth, this game, if they went out and they were like, they had a little bit of humility, right? And they were like, we are wrong. Like Ubisoft, I mean, obviously, okay, I'm going to be real. How long is this, 20 minutes? I don't want to make this too long. If Ubisoft was like, we are incorrect, our fan base just doesn't like this or want this, we're going to change this, we're going to change the characters, and a handful of our little, wokey left people are not going to like us, we just tell them to shut the frick up, and we're going to change. To tell you the truth, this game could be a baller. It could come out and it could make their Star Wars franchise amazing, right? And if they just went out of their way to look at a bunch of the older Star Wars characters, and they found ways, and they just made the main character, honestly speaking, significantly more attractive looking, made her much more feminine, made her more attractive, and made her have a level of beauty to her, and toned down her extremely obnoxious, like, they toned down the whole, what do you call it, like the female obnoxiousness of like the modern day times, where they want to have all the women be like these woman bosses, right? Or these, what do they call them, like a Mary Sue. They toned down her like obnoxious, insufferable, negative aspects. What is that like? Look at like this girl right here. She's just extremely obnoxious, right? And she's not a bad looking woman or something either, but she's just extremely obnoxious. And it's just the mentality of obnoxiousness, right? And if they made the main character, I mean, I'm not sure how old the character's supposed to be. I mean, honestly, she looks like she's probably in her like 30s at this point. Obviously, she should be an adult if she's not, but they make the character look a lot more attractive. They make the character have like some feminine qualities to her, and then and if need be, then you got to change some aspects, and you got to have a little humility. And it's like, give her some something special and make her unique, so that she can have her own world, and then she can be, and also, again, you can change some of her personality if you have to, or change the voice actress, or do something. If it's not working, you got to change. It's offensive, but sometimes that's the way it is. And if you come off as in a terrible light, then maybe you need to have a little humility. Like Sonic the Hedgehog, he had an awful looking picture. It was a terrible video, and it was just gonna go. It was gonna just be a massive flop. And their company was like, we're gonna change Sonic the Hedgehog from being terrible to looking attractive, or looking like a normal looking Sonic the Hedgehog. And they did that. And you know what? Sonic the Hedgehog was a baller movie, and they made 2 of them. I know they made 2. And I'm not sure, they might even have a 3rd one as far as I know. I don't even 100% know. And like, again, she doesn't have to like, again, like, you don't have to make females look like they're like, sexualized like a whore either. She doesn't have to be like, she doesn't have to do like a strip naked or something. She can be wearing clothes. She can just be like a normal woman, but she can also be unique too. She can have some femininity to her. Men are men and women are women. There's no shame to that. You don't have to be ashamed of the fact that a woman is a woman, and like a man is a man. Men are not designed to be pretty, and women are designed to be pretty, and that's their strength. Is their beauty and their grace are strengths and holiness that God gives. It's a God-given right for a woman to be beautiful, or to at least feel and appear like she's beautiful, and have a level of like meekness and grace too. But like, like she doesn't have to be. I guess like you got like she doesn't have to be walking around in like a a slave string bikini either, right? But she can be wearing clothes. It's not, again, like I don't think that it makes a woman attractive when she's just walking around like that. It makes her look like a whore. Yeah, she can be wearing clothes. Like even Padme is, honestly, Padme is an attractive looking female. And she does show some skin, but she's not like Padme is a great character example of like a way to make a woman, right? She's attractive looking, she has a level of authority and command, but she behaves and acts like a woman, and she doesn't have to be a man. And you can have romance, and you can have the characters can be fleshed out and be built nicely, and like they don't have to be obnoxious either. And again, like they could change this character, right? They could make this character. They could delay the game for 3 to 6 months. They could change the main character, make the story dramatically better, or they could do some improvements. If they had a little humility, this game could come out and just be like a massive phenomenon. People might actually love this game a lot. As of right now, this is going to be a 6 out of 10. Just an average, okay game. It's going to get some average support, and it's just going to fade away into the gray, and no one's going to care. A year later, it'll be in the bargain bin like all the other games, and people will just be like, meh. That's just what it's going to be. Now, that's what they want. They can get that. That's what they're going to get right now. They could change that. It could change the main character. Again, like she doesn't have to show a massive amount of skin, like even this character, right? Maybe that's unique to like the lore or something. The character doesn't. Again, like the characters don't have to like. I mean, there is a point where you can overly sexualize a character to make it's like her beauty doesn't have to come from just her like or like like even like from a Christian point of view, right? Like from the Bible. So like a woman doesn't have to attract a man by just using her sex image and by being she doesn't have to take all her clothes just to make a man like her. And she can be beautiful, and she doesn't. You don't have to like, you don't have to like try to attract a man, or to try to use your beauty in like a. It doesn't have to be like obnoxious, right? You don't have to wear super expensive jewelry and really, really like high quality, expensive looking clothes, and have to put on all this extra stuff just to make a man like you, right? And biblically speaking, you should. It's like you can wash your hair, you can behave properly. And you can dress with some levels of modesty, but you can just be a beautiful woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's like you don't have again. She wears like a sports bra or something. Again, like your woman don't have to. Again, if you want to make attractive character, make an attractive character, and you don't have to like. She doesn't have to be like a nun either, but at the same time, she doesn't have to be a whore, right? She doesn't have to wear like a string bikini or something like Leia, like Princess Leia was, right? Again, like characters can be like she doesn't have to wear a full string bikini and wear because now people like that character and they think that she's attractive because she's almost naked, right? And she's put in these very sexual positions, and that's the only beauty that comes from her. It's this like physical. Demonic, sensual flesh. That's what makes her attractive. And it's like you're not attractive as a character because of anything else other than just your blatant sex image. And there's not. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with having like a scene in a video game either, right? You make a video game, and you have a female character or a male character, and have some kind of like it gets a little bit more spicy or a little bit naughty. And there's nothing wrong with that in a movie. But it doesn't have to be the main focus either. And I mean, again, like you can make her look pretty, but she doesn't have to be, she doesn't have to be basically a whore. She doesn't have to look and talk and act like a whore. She can just be. You can make a character pretty, and you don't have to make. She also doesn't have to be a man at the same time either. You can have some kind of a middle ground where she can be wearing clothes. And she doesn't have to be like, she doesn't have to walk around, look, talk, and act like a slut and a whore. She can, you also don't have to make her into look like a man. Because if you're going to make the main character like a man, to tell you the truth, just make the main character a male at that point. I mean, honestly. You're going to make the main character look and talk and act like an actual literal dude, and just have the dude be the main character. Just make the character a male. And be like a generic male, or you can add masculine qualities to him. And nobody's going to care at that point, right? I mean, again, like, I guess that's just some of my opinions here. All right, I'm gonna end this here. All right, thanks. God is good.